Just imagine you are touching the palms of your friends and acquiring a whole new genome. What does it sound? A science fiction scenario? But for bacteria, it is not a fiction at all. Bacteria can transfer a DNA segment with a length of even hundreds of kilobases. This is 1/5 to 1/3 the size of average bacterial chromosome. This process is one of a group of processes called horizontal gene transfer. These large additions of DNA can give the bacteria new powerful traits such as resistance to antibiotics, the ability to utilize new carbon sources, and new traits that allow them to cause disease. DNA segments of the last type are called pathogenicity island. The ability of a bacterium to respond to new selective pressures, to survive adverse environmental conditions, or to exploit new environments that it encounters depends on its ability to evolve through modification of gene function that we call mutation, or acquisition of new genes that we call horizontal gene transfer or HGT. Earlier, it was believed that microbes' virulence properties would arise by slow processes involving point mutations, gene duplications, gene deletions, or chromosomal rearrangements, and rapid processes involving antigenic variations due to recombination events or phase variation due to changes in expression of defined genes. It was also believed that in order to maintain or amplify these mutations, it was necessary to have a strong, persistent selective pressure which could be applied only by specific exposure to the host environment. However, new evidence suggests that horizontal gene transfer mediated by plasmids, transposons, bacteriophages, and other transmissible DNA elements contributes significantly to genome variability and accounts for a much more rapid evolution of pathogens than was previously thought. Moreover, DNA transferred by HGT is often stably maintained in the absence of selection. Horizontal gene transfer allows one-step acquisition within a matter of hours of genes encoding antibiotic resistance, toxins, and other virulence factors. Horizontal gene transfer thus increases survival in an animal or human host by helping the bacteria to evade or suppress the host immune system, providing a means of dissemination or enhancing survival and thereby transmission in the external environment outside the host. In bacteria growing under normal cultural conditions, spontaneous mutations such as single nucleotide exchange and insertion and deletions occur at rates ranging from 10 to the power -6 to 10 to the power -9 per nucleotide per generation. Recombination can result in gene duplication, deletions, or rearrangements. All these types of genetic changes can result in gain or loss of bacterial virulence. Recent studies have shown that stress like nutrients deprivation and extended stationary phase conditions render a small subpopulation of bacterial population hypermutable for spontaneous mutation. This fraction acquires mutations at an increased rate relative to the general population of bacteria. Though many of these stress-induced mutations are deleterious, some increase their tolerance and allow them to grow again. This hypermutation involves the induction of an error-prone DNA polymerase that has less fidelity than the DNA polymerase that normally replicates the chromosome. Stress-induced mutagenesis may contribute to the long-term evolution of new traits. However, its contribution to bacterial pathogenesis is yet to be explored. Phase variation usually refers to changes in expression of important virulence proteins that occur in a relatively high frequency compared to spontaneous mutations. This process can occur by several different mechanisms. One of the first examples of phase variation reported involved changing the composition of flagella of Salmonella species. Proteins that make up flagella are highly antigenic as they are present on the surface of the bacteria. It is also advantageous for a bacterium to be able to periodically change its flagellar proteins to avoid elimination by the host immune system. In the 1940s, it was observed that some Salmonella strains could switch from making flagella with type H1 flagellin protein to flagella with type H2 flagellin protein, and vice versa. At frequencies of about 10 to the power minus 4 per cell, considerably higher than normal mutation rates. This switching between the expression of different versions of the genes encoding flagellin is caused by a DNA invertase, which is called HIN, promotes inversion of sequences upstream of the HT flagellin gene. In this figure, we can see that the invertible sequence region consists of the invertase gene, its promoter and an additional promoter. This additional promoter can regulate downstream genes. When the invertible region is in one orientation, the second promoter transcribes the H2 gene and a downstream repressor. This repressor represses promoter of H1 gene. When the invertible region is in the other orientation, the H2 gene and the repressor are no longer transcribed, so H1 gene can be expressed. Phase variation, which is also called as phenotypic switching, has also been found to play an essential role in the formation of diverse phenotypes within microbial communities that make up biofilms. Slip-strand mispairing is a mutation process which occurs during DNA replication. Here, denaturation and displacement of the DNA strands occur, which ultimately results in mispairing of the complementary bases. In this process, first double-stranded helix DNA molecule is denatured locally for short term, and then the segment of the strand is renatured with some other area containing the complementary base, but not with the original strand. Slip-strand mispairing works as a phase variation mechanism in certain bacteria. In slip-strand mispairing mechanism, the slippage may cause either additions to or deletion from the DNA sequences. Here in this figure, we can see how slippage of a cytosine in a template strand results in single base pair deletion, and slippage of guanosine in replication strand results in single base pair addition. Insertion are thought to be self-accelerating. As repeats grow longer, the probability of subsequent mispairing event increases. We know that whooping cough is caused by Bordetella pertussis. However, behind the virulence properties of the bacterium, phase variation works and is mediated by a reversible mutation in the BVGS regulatory gene, which controls the expression of the virulence genes. This type of phase variation results from slip-strand misrepair, which is also called sometimes as slip-strand synthesis. The toxin and other virulence factor genes of Bordetella pertussis are controlled by two-component regulatory system consisting of the BVGS and BVGA proteins. The mutation adds or deletes a GC base pair in a sequence region containing a string of 6 Gs, resulting in reversible loss of virulence through a frame shift in the BVGS regulatory protein. Another example for occurrence of phase variation by slip-strand misrepair is Neisseria OPA and OPC proteins. OPA proteins are integral outer membrane proteins expressed in most meningococcal and all gonococcal strains and mediate immediate adherence and invasion during infection. All OPA genes contain 5' tandem repeats in the signal peptide coding region of the gene. Slipped strand misrepair occurs at the CTT repeats in the N terminus of the OPA gene, resulting in alteration of the reading frame and loss of expression of the protein. In addition, each OPA gene contains semi-variable and hypervariable regions. Neisseria species also produce lipooligosaccharides LOS, which differs from lipopolysaccharides LPS in having short, highly branched sugar units attached to the lipid core and in having no repeating O antigen units. The surface structure of LOS is highly variable. It is very toxic molecule, cause local inflammation and tissue damage during infection. Genes of glycosyltransferase that add sugars to LOS have a tract of poly G in the 5' region of the gene's sequence that undergoes slipped strand misrepair at high frequency. In addition, sialic acid groups are covalently attached to galactose residues on the LOS by sialyltransferase, which undergo slipped strand misrepair phase variation. Depending on which glycosyltransferase and sialyltransferase are being expressed at any given time, the LOS will have different surface structure. In this way, phase variation in LOS of Neisseria contributes in gain or loss of bacterial virulence.